Welcome back to another episode of KingCast. I am Jeff Osborne coming to you from the secret headquarters studios right here in Evansville, Indiana. Be sure you click that subscribe button. It is absolutely free to subscribe and sign up for notifications. Be sure you also like, or you can dislike the videos, but King may drop that strap. There's going to be some great content coming out here on the YouTube channel, and that's why we want you to subscribe. Feel free, please comment down below. Let us know what you think. And the first question I had for him was in regards to CM Punk. There's been a lot of F CM Punk chants for fans who begged for him to come back, wanted him to come back. They turned on him pretty rapidly, and was it justifiable? I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know the whole entire situation. There's just everyone within the AEW saying that CM Punk's difficult to work with. We can't work with him. We don't want him here ever again. Flashback to an incident where no one really knows what happened in this Raw match. This was a build-up of a small feud with Jerry the King Lawler after he came back from the being off of Raw for so many months with the Hard episode. CM Punk ended up inside of a steel cage on Monday Night Raw with Jerry the King Lawler. And in the middle of the match, CM Punk began bleeding. Fine and dandy if it happens accidentally, but as most of you could tell, it may have been intentional. I asked the King about that, and as with the King, he's had decades and decades of matches. I don't expect him to remember details of every one of them. There's not a wrestler out there who can remember specific details of every single match they've done, especially wrestlers who at that time in his career had wrestled 42 years. What was it like to work with CM Punk, and was he difficult to work with? Take it away. Now, one of the matches I distinctly remember people are asking, what does King think of working with CM Punk? There was an incident on Raw where you guys said it was a cage match, right?
Yeah.
And there was blood in the match. And this was at the time, no one was allowed to bleed anymore. And I distinctly remember CM Punk bleeding. I didn't know if that was something he took upon himself, or you guys knew about that beforehand. Or...
No. And to be honest with you, I don't remember him bleeding. What happened?
He was bleeding, wasn't he? There was a part in the match where he came out and there was blood everywhere. They even acknowledged it on TV, but it wasn't the hard way.
Huh.
But,
the damage has been done by Lawler.
I thought that was very odd, but what was it like to work with Punk? Because he's got a terrible reputation right now with the fans, and people have some not so nice chants going on.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They are tearing him up at AEW with the altercation with him and the Youngbucks, and him going into business for himself at the media scrum.
Yeah.
But was he difficult to work with?
No, not at all. He was difficult, at least for me. He was difficult to know, to get close to. Then I had a sort of a different relationship with most of the wrestlers, especially since I started there in '93, mostly as a wrestler. I mean, that's all I really wanted to do. I never really wanted to be a commentator. But then, of course, over the years, became more into commentary than I was into the wrestling. And then by the time it was me and Punk, I was almost totally commentary. Just every now and then we'd go in and have a match. As a matter of fact, the last match that I got to have in WWE right before my cardiac arrest was CM Punk and Dolph Ziggler against me and Randy Orton. But I guess I don't know. It was like I was never in the locker room with the wrestlers. I always dressed in the talent relation room. JR and I, or Michael Cole and I, we would dress in the talent relations office, and so I really wasn't around those guys that much, and that made it where I wasn't close really with very few guys of the actual wrestlers, and Punk was a guy that just always seemed sort of standoffish to me. Jon Moxley, another guy. I think Moxley may have spoken 3 words to me all the time that we were there in the WWE. And I remember I was working a independent show after I think he had already left WWE, and we was working for Michael Lombardi, and at this baseball stadium, and I just went out and had my match, and it was a situation where then his match was next, and we passed each other in the in the hallway as I was coming from the match and he was going to the match, and the most he ever said to me was, he just, as we were passing, he just looked up and said, "Not a hair out of place." And then he just went by, and okay. But anyway, it was, and Punk was sort of like that too. Never any kind of, there was never anything that was any kind of animosity or anything between us. But as far as, and then working in the ring, he was fine, no problem. He's an enigma.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's what he wants to be. That's him.
You know, a lot of people don't realize this, but I had to quit singing a while back because of throat problems. Yeah, the audience threatened to cut it. But you know what? My voice is back, and so are my vintage albums. That's right. We're working on getting these albums repressed. It'll be the first time ever. I mean, these things came out in the 70s and 80s. So get ready. It's going to happen. Vinyl is back, and so is the King.